Hey guys, what's up? Name's Ivan. So this is my first video tutorial, and this is all about PHP. So first, what is PHP? PHP is a programming language used in server-side web development, and this is for absolute beginners. And hopefully, you will find this useful and interesting enough, and learn something from it. So with that being said, let's get started. So first, let's talk about variables. So variables in PHP, upon declaring it, is we need to add a $sign at the beginning. So let's say we have here a variable of var. And interesting enough, variables in PHP can contain different types of data. So it can hold string, integers, and etc. So just to show you, let's have a variable of var here with a value of a string. And let's have here another variable with a value of 1 to 3. So let's echo this, concatenate in on this. We should get string 1 to 3. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so another thing is variable in PHP can also hold a boolean. So let's say our task is to create a form that will output if the user is login, echo out something if the user is login or not. So let's say we have here a variable of login, and let's set the value of this into true, and then we use the else if statement. So what is the syntax for that? So we have here if the condition is true, what are we going to do, and else what are the codes that we need to execute. So for this example, let's say that we have your login is equal to true, and what do we want to output is you are login, else echo you are not login. Okay, so let's check. Okay, what if we change this into false? Should get you are not login. Okay. Next is variables in PHP can also hold arrays. So what is an array? So to better explain it, let's say we have a task to get all the names of the student in a particular school. So the first approach that will come to our mind is to create names. Multiple variables to satisfy the need. But that is not an ideal way of solving it. The best way or the best approach to do that is actually create a one variable with an array. Let's say we have here the names of Taupe and Gab inside our array, and let's check if we have it. So pre, okay, so and print names, and let's check. Okay, so as we can see, we have here the values that we declare inside an array. Inside our array. So in index 0 we have Taupe, and in our index 1 we have Gab. So another thing about variables in PHP is we have what we call as variables. So what are these? So variables can be accessed by a dynamic variable names. So the name of a variable can be stored in another variable, allowing it to be accessed dynamically. So, okay, to give you an example of that is, let's say we have here a function of add and the parameters of a and b. Okay, so this function will just return the sum of a and b. And below here, let's say we declare another variable with the value of add here. So we have a variable of addition, and let's echo addition with 5 and 5. So this should output 10. Let's check. Okay. So next we have the for loop. So the for loop is used when you know in advance how many times the script should run. So the syntax for that is we have here the for initialize counter. So we need to initialize our counter on this, the test counter, and the increment counter. So what are these? So initialize counter on this part is where we initialize the loop counter value. For example, we declare I is equal to 1, and the test counter, this is where we evaluate each loop iteration. So if it evaluates to true, the loop continues, and false, the loop will end. Let's say we have here I is greater than less than or equal than 10, and let's increment it. Okay, so to give you guys an example, let's say we create a table on this. Okay, let's say by the way, we can use the element of HTML in PHP. So table border is equal to 2. So in this, we are initializing the row. So let's echo tr on this. Now we go to our column. J is equal to 1. J is less than or equal than 10. And then J plus plus. Okay, so here let's declare a variable of data so we can have a value inside our table. So let's just say that data is equal to I multiplied by J, and let's insert it inside the table. Let's just close this table tag. Okay, let's see the output. Okay. Next we have the for each loop. So the for each loop works only on arrays. This includes the multi-dimensional array and is used to loop through each key or value pair in an array. So earlier we have already discussed about the array. So let me give you an example on that. Let's say we have a value, an array of R on this. We have array of A, 1, 2, 3. And let's say we have here 5, and let's say we have A, B of this. Okay, so for each R as array, we can just echo this out. Just do this and let's see. Okay, so we have an error. So let's say function A. So let me just check. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So I added a close and open parenthesis on that. So we should be fine just now. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so that ends our video tutorial. So next video will be about global variables and form actions and method. So see you in the next one.